How to stop caring about what others think. Many times, insecurity and fear are the causes of our desire to care so much about what other people think. Sometimes we fear that we aren't good enough or that people won't like us. We can think that the opinions of other people determine how valuable we are. It's crucial to keep in mind that no one else's judgment can ever determine who we are or what we are worth. The fact that every one of us is different and that there is no universally applicable concept of what constitutes good enough should also be emphasized. True self-confidence and self-worth can only be achieved by putting our attention on who we are and what we value. It's human nature to desire to be liked and respected by others, but obsessing over what people might think of you can be bad for your mental health. Our worries about what other people think of us are exaggerated and often cause us to worry. This tendency may be natural, but it can drive us around the bend if we let it. If we were perfectly logical beings, we would understand that our fears about what other people think are overblown and rarely worth fretting over. But many of us have been indulging this bad habit for as long as we can remember, so we need to take deliberate steps to change our minds. It is useless to behave as though we don't care at all about what people think, since that is simply untrue. However, there are ways to decrease the stress and prevent the negative effects of their comments on your mental health. Here are some top tips for not caring what other people think of you. 1. Keep in mind that nobody cares. Strangely, individuals have significantly less opinions of us, positive or negative, than we think they do, despite the fact that we often feel horrible about ourselves because of what others may think of us. According to studies, we routinely exaggerate what other people think about us and our flaws, which causes us to feel excessive inhibition and has a negative impact on our quality of life. If your followers or neighbors were thinking about you, perhaps they might think less highly of you, but they probably aren't. Recognize that you are thinking about yourself the next time you feel self-conscious. It is safe to presume that everyone around you is acting largely in the same way. 2. Remind yourself that you cannot control what other people think of you. Actually, it's none of our concern what other people think of us. Their views are entirely their own, based on their experiences, perceptions, expectations, preferences, and past. They have nothing to do with us. Most of the time we live in other people's head. All it accomplishes is to cause us to be more critical of ourselves. In our own bodies, it causes us discomfort. It makes us feel ashamed to be who we are. It forces us to conduct our lives in accordance with the expectations of others. Some people will never like me, no matter what I do. Some individuals will always like me, no matter what I do. It has nothing to do with me either way. Furthermore, it isn't our concern. Moreover, remember that everyone has their own opinion and that it doesn't necessarily have to dictate how you feel or act. When you realize that it's your choice how much weight you give their opinions, it will be easier to stay true to yourself and make decisions based on your own values. 3. Consider your values and the reasons behind them. The ability to make judgments based on your values rather than trying to please others will increase as a result of this. What values do you hold? They serve as the motivation for all of your actions. Perhaps you enjoy preparing wholesome meals because you care about your health. Because you value friendship, you get together frequently with your closest friends. Or perhaps you enjoy adventure and spend your free time traveling. When you focus on living according to your values and do not waver on them, you will feel confident and secure with how you live your life, and the need to please others will dissipate, Graham says. Focus on the positive aspects of yourself. Remind yourself of all the unique qualities you possess and recognize that these are what make you special. 4. Accept that you won't please everyone. Be okay with not pleasing everyone is a reminder to accept that it is impossible to make everyone happy. We all have different opinions, values, and beliefs, and no one can make everyone agree with them. Trying to please everyone will only lead to frustration and disappointment. It is important to recognize that it is okay to make decisions that not everyone will agree with. It is also important to understand that we are all unique and that there is no one-size-fits-all definition of good enough. Being okay with not pleasing everyone is a reminder to focus on our own values and goals and to take control of our own lives. It is a reminder that our worth is not determined by the opinions of others. Lastly, forgive yourself. Learning to stop caring about what other people think is a process that starts with forgiving yourself. It is a reminder to accept that mistakes are a part of life and that it is okay to be imperfect. It's critical to let go of any guilt or shame you may be experiencing and to accept that you are human and likely to make mistakes. Self-forgiveness can also help in regaining self-esteem and confidence. It serves as a reminder that we are valuable and have the freedom to make our own decisions. Additionally, it serves as a reminder to prioritize our own needs and to practice self-love and self-care. Having self-forgiveness can help us overcome our fear of criticism. Maybe you made a bad decision or a poor choice. At some point, everyone does. Instead of placing all your value on how other people feel about your mistake, turn inward. Can you forgive yourself for this mistake? It's sometimes beneficial and worthwhile to pay attention to feedback and constructive criticism. However, listening to or worrying about what other people think is frequently useless. In conclusion, learning how to stop caring what others think of you is a process that takes time. You should not care about what everyone thinks about you because ultimately, it is your opinion of yourself that matters most. Everyone's opinion is subjective and can be influenced by different factors, so it is important to stay true to yourself and your values. Remember that you're probably critiquing yourself more harshly than anyone else. It's important to remember that their opinions are not a reflection of who we are, so we can choose to let them go without feeling guilty or ashamed. The next step is to focus on our own values, beliefs, and experiences. We can use these to build our self-confidence and create an inner dialogue that is supportive and encouraging. It's also important to be mindful of our own biases and to practice self-compassion when we make mistakes. We can also practice building our resilience by learning to embrace failure and criticism. It's important to recognize that failure is a part of life and to use it as an opportunity to learn and grow. We can also learn to take criticism constructively and use it to identify areas where we can improve. It's also important to practice self-care. Taking time to focus on our own needs and desires can help us to focus on our own journey. It's also important to practice self-compassion and to embrace failure and criticism as learning opportunities. We should remember that we are in charge of our own lives and that other people's opinions do not define us. By practicing these habits, we can be more confident in ourselves and less concerned with what others think. If you found this information helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more helpful content. Your support means a lot to me and helps me continue to create content that can help others. Thank you for your time and I look forward to hearing your thoughts.